You guys ready? Good afternoon, everyone. We are here today for the life of Leneal Frazier. My name is Tashira Garraway. I am the founder of Family Supporting Families Against Police Violence and also the fiance and the mother of Justin Tigan's now 16-year-old son, Justin Tigan, who was brutally beat to death by St. Paul police August 19, 2009, and thrown inside of a trash dumpster. I stand here today in solidarity with yet another family that is grieving a loss, Leneal Frazier, who was also the uncle of Darnella Frazier, who witnessed the murder of George Floyd. The video that went all over the world was this young lady. But now her uncle, who was a regular civilian driving on the road, was hit by a Minneapolis police officer, Mr. Cummings, for doing a high-speed chase in our communities. We can no longer tolerate this, and we are pleading for high-speed chases to stop in our communities. There is no value to the life of blacks because this officer was charged, but there's no accountability, and it's going on almost 2 years where this officer is still out here. The court constantly gets pushed back with no accountability. He's out here, he's able to spend time with his family, and this family does not have their loved one, and it's not right and it's not fair. We're constantly out here as impacted families pleading for people that hold these seats to hold these people accountable for the hurt and the pain that they've caused in our communities. We also have the young man who the officer was chasing. There was a warrant put out for his arrest. However, this young man was a child. The police was his authority. And so they had a chance to put out a warrant for his arrest and go pick him up later, just like they just did, instead of putting the community's life at danger and using a vehicle to hurt yet another human being. It is over and over and over again. We are out here in the community literally begging for these high-speed chases to stop in our communities, begging for the shootings to stop. And I say this all the time. It is not about being against police. That is not what it's about, because we understand that there are some officers that are out here that's wanting to stand up and stand for their community. It is about people doing the right thing and not adding to the pain in the community. It is about no one being above the law. It is about all of us being equal as human beings, and when someone does something wrong, they must be held accountable, whether they're a regular civilian or whether they are a police officer. Right is right and wrong is wrong. It doesn't matter your nationality, the color you are. We want justice to be served for Leneal Frazier and all of the other families that are suffering through this. We just lost a 6-year-old a couple weeks ago due to a high-speed chase of the police in our communities. This is not happening in the high-privileged areas like Edina, Maple Grove. This is not happening, and there are thefts of cars in those areas as well. So why in the urban low privilege areas are these high-speed chases happening? We need it to stop. We need it to stop, and we need to have our lives, black lives, treated the same way that they treat those lives out in those privileged areas. We will now call forward my brother with Black Lives Matter, Minnesota, Trayhorn Cruz. We will then have the family speak and then a few community members speak. Thank you.
We know in cities like St. Paul that black motorists are 4 times more likely to be pulled over than our white counterparts, according to Chief of Police Todd Axtell. Yet we have police officers driving recklessly through black communities and townships. Leneal Frazier should still be alive today. He shouldn't have been chased by the police. There should be a law. I think there is a law that police, if somebody's life If they're going to endanger life, then the police should not engage in high-speed chases. And over again, here in the state of Minnesota, we continue to see this phenomenon happen. We know that, like Tashira said, about a month or two ago, a six-year-old girl was killed in a high-speed chase, I believe in Brooklyn Center by the Brooklyn Center Police Department. We know Marcos Paramos was killed in a high-speed chase with Maplewood Police, and Elijah were killed in a high-speed chase with Ramsey County Sheriff's Department and the Maplewood Police Department and possibly the St. Paul Police Department. And then Leneal Frazier. So that's like 3 people who have been killed by police during a high-speed chase, and 3 is way too many lives. 1 life is too many, so we need this to stop. And now there's this child who is being pursued, and all of this is being put on his back, and you'll hear more about that from the family. So I don't want to say too much because I know the family could educate us about what's happening to their loved one, Leneal today. Thank you.
We will now call forward the sister of Leneal Frazier, Cheryl Frazier.
Hello. What I like to say is we understand that everybody needs to be held accountable for their actions. We all just believe if Brian Cummins, he had more of control over the crash, he could have been and called the chase off. It's like he was choosing property over my brother's life, and now, this is how we visit my brother, and it's hard for us. Now we finna have more holidays coming up, and this is how we got to eat and sit with him in the iron. All we have left of his body is ashes and bones. Like, he's not here in the flesh. We can't hug him, we can't kiss him, we can't do none of that. But Brian Cummins, he's out here, and he's going to be able to do all that stuff. They pushed the court date back to May. We don't understand really why. And as far as the charges with James, yeah, he needs to be held accountable, but, people do stuff, We all did things in our past or whatever. He was just doing something wrong, but for Cummins to just continue on the chase over somebody's stolen car is ridiculous. Like, he could have just called it off and looked for him later. That's what they did right now, so why they couldn't do that in the beginning? Now my brother is gone. He's not here. We'll never see him again. And it's crazy. I think Brian Cummins was selfish of his actions that night, and I wish that he could have just thought for at least 5 minutes, like, you know what, this is not even worth it. I'm putting my life in danger, and I'm putting everybody else's life in danger. But he didn't do none of that. He just kept on going, trying to be the hero that he thought that he was going to be that night, but he ended up killing my brother. And it's like, I don't know. It's just very hard for us to even continue on to relive everything. So that's all I got to say.
Before you step away, I remember asking early on your family, before we knew and saw a face of who was being chased, who did you put more blame on, the police or the guy that they were allegedly chasing? And there had been court filings that he was dangerous. And
Right.
Police had every right to go after him as hard as they
Right.
could. Now that we've seen his face, we've seen his record. I know he's in a stolen car, but I think there's more. There's 10
Yeah.
robberies.
Right.
He's known to carry a gun. He strong-armed a woman to take her car.
Right.
I think there'd be people out there that would argue, yeah, that guy needs to get
Yeah.
back
Yes,
on
he
the
do.
street. So I'm just wondering emotionally. I know you spoke to it already, but you're still putting all the blame on Cummins.
Yeah, because Cummins is the one that caused the death of my brother. I understand that young man, he's a criminal. He needs to get what he deserves. Yes, he really do. But at the same time, I think the police, they are out to serve and protect, which he was doing. But it's not like actually like he saw him murder somebody or physically harm somebody. It's like he could have, it was just a car. He stole a car. Okay, he got a lengthy record. He do. He needs to be in jail. But at the same time, chasing him down the street and then y'all didn't catch him. Y'all didn't catch him until a year later, and he's still not in jail. But my brother is dead. He's dead. Yes, we put the blame on him too, because he shouldn't have never been out doing, stupid things. But lo and behold, Brian Cummins is the one that caused my brother's death. If the gentleman would have caused my brother's death, if he would have actually hit him, then yeah, our main focus would have been on him. It wouldn't have been so much on the police. It would have been on him. You killed my brother, you need to go down for it. That's just how we feel about it.
Can I just add into her? Derek Chauvin had a lengthy record. The officers who killed Amir Locke have a lengthy record. The St. Paul Police Department has a lengthy record. Mayor Frey has a lot of blood on his hands right now, but nobody's going out of their way, or people aren't being killed pursuing these people. So we just want our humanity to be respected. We want this family's humanity to be respected, and we think that the way they arrested the young man now is the way they could have arrested him before.
I'd like to add to that. The police have a duty to protect and serve in our community. The young man was a civilian in the community that did need to be arrested. But when you engage in high-speed chases, you're putting a lot of innocent people's lives in danger, including your own life. So to engage into behavior that we have clearly seen has ended a lot of people's lives, and it seems to be done in particular areas. Because again, it's not happening in Edina, Maple Grove, all those kind of areas. It's happening over in like North Minneapolis. So we have to pay attention to the areas in which these things are happening and who is happening to as well. Because if you pay attention to the nationality of most people that are being murdered in these high-speed chases, 9 times out of 10 is black or a minority person that's losing their life. So again, it goes back to the lack of just having compassion and having enough value for minority people in urban communities. That's what it goes back to, even when it comes to vehicle homicides. It's all, at the end of the day, there's no value for black and minority lives in Minnesota, and it's being shown and proven to us over and over and over again. Because if you know that it is people walking down the street, other people driving, why would you go that fast down a street when you know you can jeopardize those lives? And you are the police, you took an oath to protect and serve. You need to do that. You need to protect and serve, even if you're trying to pursue someone, and you can go pick them up later. That's all. Would any of the family like to say anything? That's his sister.
I'm his sister. Mm-hmm.
Can you please just elaborate about the court date being pushed back? And not only that, on the statute 609-987 indicating that police officers are not supposed to do a high-speed chase in a residential area. And what do you feel about that? If that law would have been in place, Leneal Frazier would still be alive.
To my knowledge, I thought the law was already in place. So he still should be he should be alive today. And as far as them pushing the court date back, it was supposed to start September 19th, and they didn't even contact us to let us know that they pushed it back. My brother got a call from Star Tribune, and also our lawyer, he got a call from Star Tribune. Like, they didn't call us to say, hey, do you guys want to join the Zoom to so we could let you guys know that we're pushing the court date back. They didn't do any of that. Like, we found out through social media, and I just think that was just so crazy that we had to find out that way.
And would you just explain why extending out this whole process?
We have no idea.
Well, no, I mean, I think it's because the lawyer, Tom Plunkett, has the trial coming up next month for the other officer. Now blank on his name, King.
Okay.
In the George Floyd thing. So I think his scheduling is impacted. That said, it doesn't
Right.
Doesn't your family here. What I'm wondering is, can you just explain to us why extending out this, kind of leaving this gaping hole on the criminal justice side, why that's so hard for you guys, because you have to wait to get your justice or to see justice done, why that's so hard?
It's like we still reliving it. Like, we have to continue on talking about it when something happened. Like, we got to continue on doing this type of stuff. We got to continue on fighting when we just want it to be over with, so we can sit and grieve in peace. And for us to get through this as a family. Because just reliving it all the time, like, it's traumatizing. Like, I relive that. I relive that crash video in my head every night. You know, I have vivid dreams about it. Like sometimes I wonder, like, was my brother ever like crying out for help, or did he ever just go really quick? We are a tight knit family. Like I would have loved to come and help save my brother. Like it's devastating that we didn't even have that chance to at least try to assist to help him. Like it hurts. It happened so quick.
With any other? We will now have one of our community members that is standing in solidarity with the family, Keith McCarron, say a few words. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Keith, Keith McCarron, McCarron. I want it to be noted that the community has been begging Minneapolis Police Department to alter their pursuit policy for over a decade. And there's obviously a problem with this pursuit. That's why Brian Cummings was fired, and that's why Brian Cummings was charged. And this case is not like any other case, and it's important to pay attention. It's because of Leneal Frazier, who called out with video and showed the world the murder of George Floyd when PIO elder was trying to claim that he was just died of a medical emergency. It's because that caused an uprising of 25 million people in 550 cities around the world, that this Minneapolis Police Department and Mike Freeman's DA office has decided to punish this family as much as they can, inflict as much pain as they can. There is no reason whatsoever to delay that trial. All those officers from Floyd are in jail. They can sit in jail and their trial can wait. Cummings needs to be tried, and he needs to be tried immediately. It's well known. Justice delayed is justice denied. And that is what is happening for the Frazier family, and it's intentional, and it's meant to inflict pain and punishment. And don't forget that part.
Thank you, Keith. Does anyone else want to add anything? No. All right. Do you guys have any further questions for the family or anything? King, you got any other questions?
Yes. I just want to ask the family, like, how soon do you guys want to have the trial date? And not only that, do you guys want Mr. Cummings to apologize for what he did? Have not only that, Mike Freeman or anybody, you can bear anybody reach out to you all and say, can they give you some condolences to what happened to Mr. Frazier?
Well, Brian Cummings, he haven't reached out to us, but it'd be nice for him to, you know, respect us and give us an apology. Mike Freeman, he reached out to us. We talked to him a long time ago. He gave his condolences and stuff. So I don't even know what else to say. My mind is just all over the place.
Any of the city councilors or anything like
No,
that?
no.
And I think that's part of the issue is Minnesota has a lot of blood on their hands here, and the lack of compassion and empathy that a lot of our families have seen, a lot of the slander, a lot of the harassment that the families receive afterwards, it's a lot of inhumane behavior. And if you this family has experienced so much trauma. Leneal Frazier first has to witness as a 17-year-old girl a man being murdered in broad daylight, and then her uncle gets killed. And then her uncle gets killed in a high-speed chase with the same police department. So you would think that a lot of the elected officials, the police department, the chief, all of these people would be reaching out to give their condolences to this family. There's a lot of trauma, hurt, and pain in our communities, and it's happening because people are losing their lives and people are just moving on with their lives. How can you just move on with your life when you know that someone died like this? We're on the news, so it's not like people don't know what's going on. We're holding these events. We're doing all of these things to bring awareness because our families are out here hurting and suffering. And we have to live our lives, go on with our lives, raise our children, and just live with the pain. It's not right. It's not fair. And the very least, and the very minimum that human beings can do is give their condolences. And also for the officers to say, I'm sorry for the pain that I caused your family. That's the bare minimum of what people are asking for. And it's sad that we can't even get that. So with that, we'll end with Sada speech. We'll end with a Sada speech and we'll end the press conference for today. We have a duty to fight for our freedom.
We have a duty to fight for our freedom.
We have a duty to win.
We have a duty to win.
We must love and support one another.
We must love and support one another.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
We have a duty to fight for our freedom.
We have a duty to fight for our freedom.
We have a duty to win.
We have a duty to win.
We must love and support one another.
We must love and support one another.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
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 All power to the people.
All power to the people.
Thank you. Thank you all for being here today. Thank you guys.